Blessed morning to all my professors and all the audience. My name is Lydia Mekale, and today I am going to present my proposal investigating the effectiveness of the motivation strategies toward mathematics and science teachers at poor performing NSSCO schools in the Erongo region, Namibia. I will walk you through my key parts of the study from why it matters to how I am going to do it or to carry it out. Like my table of contents, I'm going to look at those parts briefly. And the background of the study is based on the fact that Namibian government is trying its best since 1990, which was our independence, to make sure that education in Namibia reaches out to everyone. However, despite the effort, some of the schools, especially the schools in Erongo region, which was recently a region of excellence, has experienced a decline in its performance since 2022, whereby the region was ranked position number 4 nationally out of the 14 provinces. Then it dropped its performance in NSSCO to position number 6, and drastically in 2024 to position number 9, an event which has attracted so much criticism to the region, to the schools, to the teachers, is what is happening in the Erongo region. The problem. I'm going to look at the situation, like since now the performance in Erongo has dropped, there is so much of the decrease in the performance in mathematics and science, whereby in most of the schools in the Erongo region, the performance is under 50% A to C quality symbols, and this is a big concern. I'm going to give a scenario, of Mrs. Feng Yo, one of a teacher in Erongo region. She has been trying her best. You know how mathematics and science people are always trying their best to cover up their syllabus. However, this teacher, working for 5 years, has been trying her best, but with little support. She had been consistently producing poor results until she was at the edge of quitting her job. But a day before she quitted the job, Elena just knocked at her door and told her, "Miss, do you know that you are the only teacher that makes me believe that I can still pass?" Just that little sentence that was mentioned to her basically helped her to reignite her purpose. She reignited her purpose, and then she basically decided that she will continue. She's not going to quit her job. In short, that basically means motivation is not only about salary, it's about feeling seen, feeling valued, feeling impactful, feeling that you matters even in the little things. So then I ask, what strategies keep teachers like Ms. Penyo going? What are the current strategies in place in the Erongo region? And then how well will these strategies work, and what could work better for the Erongo region to improve the performance and then claim the previous position that it was having in those other years? This study, dear professors, is very purposeful. It is not just about academic, it's about practical. I want to help the teachers to stay inspired. I want to help the schools to improve, to help the policy making to be supportive. So personally, I believe motivation is an essential need. Just like water and air, motivation to the inner being is a special essential need. It's one of the nutrients. Just like vitamins and carbohydrates and fats to the physical body, motivation is also a nutrient of the inner being, which when one doesn't have, they will also be malnutrited. The significance of this study. This study is very significant. When teachers are motivated, they perform better, the schools thrive, the community grow, and there will be improvement even in the national economy. Looking at the geographical nature of the Erongo region is a region which I liken to the Shanghai of China because of its internationalization, and the education system there is supposed to do its best to attract the investors in the country. So this study basically has been reviewed. The concept of motivation has been reviewed, has been well researched by different scholars globally, nationally, and as well as locally. And most of the scholars indicated that they confirmed that motivation changes teachers' outcome. In Erongo, we need local evidence to design strategies that truly resonate. So I framed my study on two concepts. Deci and Ryan's theoretical framework of self-determination theory that focuses on the three basic psychological needs: autonomy, competence, relatedness to motivation, and Herbert's two-factor theory, hygiene factors and motivation factors that are discussed. I incorporated or integrated these two to come up with my theoretical, my conceptual framework that guides the motivation strategies, which is the independent variable, and then this will affect the teacher's motivation, which will later impact the school's performances. The methodology, this topic is quite compactful. However, I've selected to do document analysis of the SDPs and the BIBE to check if the schools have really planned strategies to help mathematics teachers specifically, because mathematics is a subject that is not like other subject or science subject. I will look at online, I will use mixed approach quantitatively. I will I select 75 teachers to do online survey on the effectiveness of their strategy, of the strategies of motivation, and then also to be holistic, I included the school board chairpersons, 15 of them. I'm choosing 15 schools, 15 principals, 15 HODs, because we have 3 circuits in Erongo, 5 from each circuit, to be able to get insight or deep insight of the situation that is going on. So the journey has just started now. So soon I will email my ethic approval request to ECNU so I can move to the data collection analysis and then finally submit my final thesis. So motivation has also, researching on it has also impacted on myself, and I believe in Erongo we are also going to make use of this research to be impactful on the performance of our learners. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation, Maro. You wanted to...
Okay, I'm very deeply impressed by your well-written proposal. So I think this one could serve as a kind of model, okay, for you all to study. Almost 60 pages, 66 pages, okay, 66 pages. Congratulations. Okay, and so I can see what problems existed in previous students. Now we can see we have a better solution. Okay, so if we can have a clear, as a reader, we can have a clear picture of what she's going to do. Okay, I'd like to ask Lucy. The title is investigating the effectiveness, right? Effectiveness of the motivation strategy. But while I'm reading your proposal, it seems to me that you are not going to investigate the effectiveness, but also to assess. Because not from your research question or from your objectives of study, page 44, for example. Page 44, objective of this study, we said the main objective of this study is to investigate and assess the effectiveness. Assess, misspelling, plus another S, okay, of the motivation strategies. So my question is, you are going to do both or just doing one?
Okay, so thank you very much, Professor, for that question. For the effect, okay, for me to find out if the strategies that are in place in schools for motivating the teachers are effective. First, I believe I need to find out what are those strategies that they have in their specific schools. Specifically, okay, regionally, okay, nationally we have different strategies to motivate teachers like incentives and all those things. Then regionally we have other strategies that are put in place like reward system, regional awards. But schools may also are also supposed to have their own strategies to motivate their teachers in their different contexts. So for me to be able to check how effective those strategies are, I need to assess, like to evaluate how effective are they through talking to the teachers, to the school board members. Are they improving? Are the teachers satisfied with what is going on, or maybe yeah, or maybe they are not um, you know, what is the word? They are not basically happy with what is going on. Nothing is motivating them. So, yeah.
So I can see, well, you mean actually they are closely related, right?
Yeah.
Or we can say assessment is could be included in the study of the investigation. Do you mean that? If that, okay, I suggest you focus on one. Okay, and then you can add this kind of consideration about assessment in your research question. So now in your research questions, you have 4 of them, right, at page 45. First, evaluate the current motivation strategies. So here's evaluate, is assessment, isn't it?
Yes. So maybe I must use that.
Okay, the second is the specific factors affecting the motivation. Okay, so the third is relationship between A and B. Between A is specific motivation strategies and B is improvements. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, and third, if so, then you use italicized to focus. You see, but why not also italicize the improvements? Okay, so because or you well maybe if you don't want to emphasize all this, well you may not use the different code. Then last question is to develop evidence-based recommended motivation strategies. So you have some modifies before strategies. So strategy here is that evidence-based recommended motivation. Okay, so very specific. That's good. Then, so to see your 4 research questions, they are closely related with each other, yet, so think it over, okay, think it over. For example, after you find out the motivations, strategies, and then you would like to see their factors. Then why here you again to narrow down to the relationship between motivation strategy and improvement. So these are not included in the specific factors. So why you put 3, the third question as an independent question? Because you are finding out the relationship between these 2. But if you say number 1 is current strategy, number 2 is factors, number 3, if you say the strategies or your motivation or your suggestion, right? Strategies, right? So it seems that if you insist in having these 4 questions, maybe you need to have a paragraph explaining the relationship, the logic, okay, the coherence, or but anyway, all these 4 questions serving your main research objective. Okay, that's my first research suggestion. Okay, the second one, it's good that you tried to include all the schools in this region, all the you say what? All the research. So how many? Let's see. You have 3 circuits, right?
Yes.
And then you have 19 schools.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have 5 schools will be selected
From each sector.
in the second phase. In the third phase, all the mathematical and the calculus science teachers
Yeah.
will be. So here, all how many?
Okay, I have mathematics as a subject.
Uh-huh.
Then science subjects are biology, I specify
Right.
biology,
Uh-huh.
chemistry, physics, and agricultural science.
Mhm.
So this makes 5.
5.
So all of the teachers that are teaching for 2 years, at least they must have 2 years experience because they must have taught NSSCO and must have the results already. So at least 5 teachers per school that are teaching those.
So
those subjects.
altogether 120 participants.
So excuse me?
120 participants will
Yeah, plus or
participate in the
minus.
study, right?
Yeah, plus or minus.
That's good. So your sample big enough, okay?
Yeah.
But the possibility or availability for you. So you are here, right?
Yes.
So how can you make sure you can have all this
No,
included?
I have a good connection with my deputy director and my principals. The life platforms, I
Mhm.
think they are well. They are helpful. I know
Okay.
they will reach out to the teachers, and in Erongo region, all the schools are connected with Wi-Fi, and teachers are eager to assist out others that are doing their studies and do something.
Okay, that's good. If we can, yeah, that's good. Okay, so last but the minor suggestion for the tables and figures, as I mentioned just now for the other students. So you should give a title for this. Okay, so your figure 1.1 is what? Okay, table figure 1.2. So what are these? Okay, so give a title for all this. Okay, and then page 47. For the research questions, number 1, I'm still curious about. You said which unique factors. Why you also plugged it unique factors. Why use unique here?
Yeah. There's word unique. I used it because there are several factors. No, there are several factors that are affecting motivation of teachers. Right? That some of them are not. There are things that they've been there for a long time and they don't keep changing. But what are those special ones that, for example, salary is not really a factor that is affecting the teacher's motivation because everyone is getting paid, and local studies have shown in our country that teachers are not really motivated by salaries. So salary increment has been a well-researched factor in our country. Based also on Shikalepo 2018, that teachers, yes, it helps the teachers to keep going, but it's not really something that must be good. It is a factor that is affecting their motivation.
Okay. Yeah, if you can justify yourself, it's okay. So I think the 3 research questions on this part is much clearer than your research learning. Research objectives, number 4. Okay, just 4 with research objectives. So why not consistent? Okay, just 3.
Okay.
Because you have 3 research questions, right?
Okay.
Then why not just say we have 3 research objectives?
Okay.
So in this case, we'll avoid confusion.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
If that's the case, from your research question, I still find that assess is a very important part. For example, number 2, how do blah 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 assess the effectiveness? So that is one of the very important research questions here. So if assessment is so important, then in your research title, we can discuss it with the supervisor. Okay, how to okay. All right, that's all for me. Thank you. I also learned a lot from you.
Professor Chen?
Generally speaking, yeah, maybe a very good example, as what Professor Bill mentioned, for all of us to as a proposal. Again, I'd like to just now actually Professor Do mentioned the relationship between the 4 performing schools and the supposed participants sample size, right? 75, for example, teachers also, and 15 department head, right? And 15 schools, and 15 board members, right? School and board members, right? But yes, based on the three different stages, like the first one, isolating poor performing schools. So based on your understanding, altogether how many schools in your area, in this area region?
In the
Oh, 19?
yes, they are basically up there about 19. They are actually 19
Altogether.
MSS, yeah, all together, secondary schools.
Secondary schools.
Secondary schools, but I'm only focusing on the government schools because of the standard of resources.
Then how many government schools? Public, right?
Yeah. There are 24 schools, 19 of them are public. Those are the ones that I'm going to look at.
And then out of the 19,
Yeah.
there might be 15. What do you mean poor performing schools, right?
Most of the schools have poor performance in mathematics. So now, to select the 5 from each second, I looked at the result analysis that I was provided with for 2022, 2023, and 2024 by the Regional Result Analysis Committee. And most of the schools, I can say all of the schools have low performance in the science subject and mathematics. Mathematics in all the schools is less than 20%. So now I cannot be able to take all of the schools. So I use, if a school has performed 25%, the other one 20%, then the other one maybe 40%. So I will look at the West. Purposely, I selected the West ones that have performed and left the other 4 that are better off.
So, as Professor mentioned, so one mathematics teacher plus 5 science teachers,
Yes.
making the total number of 6 each school.
Biology,
Yeah.
chemistry,
Yeah, 5.
physics, and then agriculture, then methods.
Altogether 5.
Yes.
5 each school 5,
Each
and
school
then
has.
15 schools.
Yes.
So does this mean that in each school there are only one math teacher?
No.
Then why only one math teacher?
Okay, there's professors like this, but I think all of them, because the system works like this. If I'm a grade 4 teacher, if I'm a grade 11 teacher this year, it's because I was a grade 10 teacher last year. I take my learners to grade 11. Then when they graduate, I will go back to grade 10 and then bring them back, because the syllabus is a 2-year syllabus, it's a 2-year course.
That's for math teacher.
Yeah, for all the MSSCO subjects.
And the science teacher.
Yes.
What I mean is that because basically in China the situation goes like this. People pay much more attention on math study than that of science. Science is also very important, but basically it seems to us math education is much more foundational, essential subject. So whether it is the same situation in your country or not, if it's the same situation, then maybe more math teacher, for example 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and another group of 4, 1 each from science, chemistry, physics, whatever, right? So, and then see, you have a leading scholar of math education in China working as your advisor. So, and of course her expertise in mathematics, and actually you'll get a lot if you focus on this aspect. Professor Xu, and of course Professor Huang is actually also a leading scholar of inclusive education in China. And Professor Zhou, of course.
Thank you very much, Prof. I just didn't think about it. That you are very correct on that point, because mathematics is compulsory in all our schools, and then the other science subjects are choice subjects. Therefore, it's a very important. There are more methods.
The proportion for your study is not enough for math studies, right?
Of course.
For math studies.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and see, based on the PISA, for example, results, the math and science, and you're working with Professor Xu, why not to benefit from that?
Yes. Thank you very much.
whether she got a PhD in Germany.
Wow.
So she speaks German also.
Oh, I'm very glad indeed.
You speak German?
But in Namibia, many people know German.
Yeah, especially those ones that are in language because they are German volunteers in some of the schools.
So you try to balance the maybe better.
Yes, yes, I'm definitely thinking that as well.
My colleague Lydia,
Yes,
the presentation is very well. I'm very interested in this topic. I read the detail about your topic. After read it, I learn a lot. For example, I know how much the budget, education budget of your country. You say average is 7.6%
yes,
occupied the GDP.
yes.
But I read another source that in recent years, from 2020 to now, occupied more than 9%. It's a big one. You know our country, how much? Only 4% occupied GDP, educational expenditure. Your country double of the China. I think, generally speaking, if we invent more money, this country have a good quality of education, generally speaking. But the result, noise is why? I think about why. Yes. It was exceed some effective question. After that, I also learned about your country because I don't have been Namibia yet. Next year I want to visit your country. I have been many countries of Africa, just many countries, your neighbors countries, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, another one, Kenya, Ethiopia also. So next year I will visit Namibia. So you give me many information about the difference between regions. Your region working in Erongo is rich region in comparison with the Ohawina in the near the Angola. Yeah, this is very poor. So yeah, first you working in the north region. Now in the west. So I learned a lot about the Namibia. So I also know you have learned a lot of theories. You mentioned just Herbach two-factor theory. It's very famous in the administration theories, in psychological also. It's very important for you to support your thesis.
Thank you.
My question is, your topic is motivation. I think motivation is very, very important for the principals, teachers, if for student learning, the students' motivation is also very important. So this topic is very important. My question is, besides motivation, another fact is also very important to the teachers. For example, instruction methods, curriculum. Also, in some periods of time, the salary is also a motivation. In our country, many times teacher want to get many money and get the high salary, change his working to work at another school. Why? This motivation for him because he want to buy a new house, so he need more money. This is motivation, but motivation is more larger one, very important. Salary only short time is very important. Also, your thesis recent motivation towards mathematics and science teaching. My question is, motivation only for the mathematics and science teachers, not relation with another subject? If you have some relation with another teacher, this title change a lot because you can investigation the effectiveness of motivation strategies towards teachers. Every subject teaches all important the motivation. Why you especially mentioned mathematical and science teachers?
Yeah, thank you very much, Prof. Other subjects, like the commerce subjects, it's only that I didn't put that data in, that I had the data of the performance throughout 2022, 23, and 24. They are not doing as bad as mathematics. If you look at the mathematics here, 11.1%. In 2022, 10% average for all the whole region, 10% performance, and then 14.5% in 2024. A to C quality symbols that let the children go either to high institutions or to advanced subsidiary level, which is grade 12.
Remind you, what Professor Huang means that could be in language, could be in
Arts.
history, could be in history, arts. So if you are trying to limit the area of math and science, then you need to point out, okay, these are actually, see, there are many reasons, there are many reasons, effect, and motivation is one of them. And you may say in this way that because of the scope is too big, and I've tried to focus on math and mathematics, and in particular with Professor Shi.
Professor means basically that's one of the reasons, because it's very general.
Yeah, too general and too big, and you cannot accomplish it within 1 year, and then try to focus on the math and science.
And
that's logically it's good.
And also I'm not the geography teacher, I'm a teacher for mathematics and science, and I'm the head of department of mathematics and science. So I will give room to the other HODs to do research in their areas, the commerce area and the social science area that I'm focusing on.
So which means that at the very beginning of your introduction, you should make this statement, and then try to limit your study within these two areas,
If only this one, I think the motivation is important for the mathematical teachers, not for another object teachers.
Thank you very much.
You mentioned in the
Yeah,
introduction.
that's right, the reason why you are focusing on math and science.
Okay, thank you very much.
I think your presentation proposal is a very good one.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I ask for
You have something? Yeah, you have something.
yeah, can I ask for advice?
他要问几个问题了，他要问几个问题。
Oh, okay, please.
Yeah, I just want to ask for advice. This is an initiative that I want to put down. If it is correct, I will go ahead. If it is not correct for me to do it, I will drop it according to the advice of the panel on page 63 and page 62. I have a strategic motivation initiative there for corporate donation plan, whereby the goal of the initiative is to secure a donation of modern educational technology equipments, because like most of the schools, they don't have labs, no laboratories, no libraries. Maybe I will focus on leading Chinese technology companies through the embassy, or also I can connect with other companies back home. And the main aim is basically to have a high impact motivation strategy for mathematics and science teachers for a specific school that I will use as a pilot for my school, for example. We are trying our best, but we don't have equipment there to make use of. Now, through this study of mine, I'm having the rationale on page 62 there, that this initiative directly supports the thesis focus on motivation strategies by providing really essential tools and enhance the teaching environment, reducing teachers' workload, and see if they will be more motivated when such provision has been made. Do you think it's a good idea for me to have a strategic motivation initiative for corporate donation plan to establish the importance of my topic?
Well, of course, it's better to have this one, but to see the feasibility. How? Okay, but I think you can consider it or discuss with your supervisor later, because we have another student, right? So it's time already. Okay, because it's not that easy to answer your question in one sentence. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you've done a good job.